Yes, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Garden of the Mind YouTube channel, where we reduce stress, improve our health and fitness, and increase our financial IQ just a little bit every episode. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to our village. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome to you as well. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the single most thing that you can do to improve your credit. So if you're interested in learning how to improve your credit, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. The single most thing that you can do to improve your credit is to take a look at it. It's amazing how many people want to improve their credit but have absolutely no idea what's on their credit. And then if you don't know what's on it, you don't know exactly how to improve it. You got to take a look. I'm going to put in the description box below all of the different credit bureaus and how to contact them. You are by law entitled to a free credit report every year from each one of the credit bureaus. Now, if you have applied for credit and you've gotten denied for credit, then you are also entitled to another credit report seeing exactly what was on that credit report which led to you being denied. Please refer to our last video where we talked about what's the big deal about credit, so that you can refresh your ideas on some of the things that we're going to be talking about here today. Your credit report, once again, is a summation of your payment history for the past 7 years. However, it is a snapshot on a moving timeline. If you got a credit card from Big Apple Supermarket, on your credit report, it would show Big Apple Supermarket. It would show paid as agreed, if you paid as agreed. And if you were late on that, it would say the amount of days that it would be late. It's usually given in 30-day denominations. So if you were late 30 days, then it would say late 30 days, or 60 days, or 90 days, or 120 days. After that point, it would say that it's in collections. All of that time is based on what is known as the original delinquency date. That is the date where the 7 years starts. So for example, let's say my Big Apple Supermarket credit card was due on January 11th. I have up until February 11th to pay the bill before it goes down on my credit report as late. Between January 11th and February 11th, the credit card is technically late, but it's late with the company. So after February 11th, then it's late with the credit reporting agency. Big Apple Supermarket then reports that to the credit reporting agency, who then places that on your credit report as 30 days late. After March 11th, it would show that it's late 60 days. After April 11th, it would show that it was late 90 days. After May 11th, it would show that it's late 120 days. After that point, it goes into collections. When it goes into collections, they sell that debt to an outside person who is willing to try to collect on the money that you said that you were going to give Big Apple. Now this collection agency is expecting you to pay them that money because Big Apple said, this person has not paid me. I don't think I'm ever going to get the money. Whatever you can get for it is what you get for it. In terms of seriousness, a 30-day late is pretty serious, but it's not as late as 120 days or even a collections account. Now, once it goes into collections, if they decide to take you to court and get a judgment against you, they could also put that judgment on your credit report as well. So now this one debt that you had can show up on your credit as two in terms of the impact it may have on your credit report. Now, we have some good news. Although that's the single most thing that you can do in order to improve your credit, once you are armed with the information, now you can take a look at all of the trade lines that you have on your credit report and see whether they are being reported accurately. Let's say in February you were late with your Big Apple payment and it reflects that on your credit. The burden of the credit reporting agency is on them. It's not on you. Even though you were late in sending in that payment, if you challenge that, The burden is on them to prove that this debt actually exists. By law, once you challenge something on your credit report, if by 30 days they do not respond to you, it has to come off. Hands down. Doesn't matter whether you are guilty of actually having the late payment or not. It has to come off. So they have to respond to you within 30 days. The way you check your credit report is you can call the credit reporting agencies directly. You can reach them by phone, by internet, whatever your choice is in reaching them. You would just ask them for a free copy of your credit report, and by law they're supposed to provide that, and they do provide it. When you request your credit report, that is known as a soft inquiry. That means it does not take points off of your credit score. If you apply for credit, that's known as a hard inquiry, and that does take points off of your credit score, and it stays on your credit report for 2 years. If you are applying for credit for a major purchase, i.e. a house, a car, something of that nature, and you request your credit 15 times within a 2-week period, they would collapse those 2 weeks of requests to one inquiry. If you were to do the same with your credit cards, it would not be collapsed. If you were to inquire for 8 different credit cards in a 2-week period, it probably would not be collapsed into the same thing, because they make a special exception if you are looking for a major purchase because they know that you are shopping alone. If you apply 8 times in a 2-week period for individual credit cards, that will not be collapsed. If you were to apply for a credit card, if you don't get that credit card, it would not show up on your credit report. It would only show up that there was an inquiry. Now, understand, inquiries do take some points off of your credit report. It only shows as a trade line if you were successful in getting that credit. So if you were to apply 8 different times in a 2-week period for different credit cards, all of those inquiries will show up on your credit report, and it will show up as hard inquiries. Hard inquiry usually costs you about 15 points per inquiry. If you were to be denied for credit, you would write to the credit reporting agency that denied you to see exactly why you were denied. Some of the reasons why a credit card or a credit issuer may deny you for credit is because you have insufficient credit. Another reason may be because you have not had a long enough history. They may deny you because your debt to income ratio is out of whack according to what it is that they see. Now, you may say, well, Chaka, I did watch your video and I know that the credit bureaus don't have a copy of my income, so how are they able to figure out what my income is in relation to my debts? Well, the credit bureaus don't have a copy of your income, but when you apply for credit, you do put your income on that credit application. So the credit issuer has a copy of your income. They look at the information that they received from the credit bureau versus the information that they have, and they use that to make a determination on whether they should extend you credit or not. You may have a history of delinquent accounts. They may figure that the amount of accounts that you have that have delinquencies makes you not a good credit risk for them and their company. They might cite you for the high balances that you have on your credit cards. Ideally, if you have a $1,000 credit limit, you shouldn't go anything higher than 30%, certainly. Most experts would recommend that you don't even go past 10%. So if your credit limit is $1,000, you shouldn't charge anything more than $100. Now remember, you can have good credit with one credit bureau and not so good credit with another credit bureau. I found that out when I went to college. I made the mistake, like most people do, when you're looking for credit, you just apply to every person that is looking to extend you credit and see if you meet their guidelines. What I did is I got about 50 rejection letters. But what I did is I saved those rejection letters. So when I looked over them, I could see which company pulled from which credit bureau. So when I found out I had good credit at one credit bureau, I would only apply to companies that used that single credit bureau. Example, let's go back to our example of Big Apple supermarkets. Let's say I was looking to apply for a credit card with them, and I know that they used Equifax. If I had good credit with Equifax, then I would try to get credit through Big Apple, knowing that they're going to check my Equifax credit report, which I know is good. So save all of the denials that you get if you get denied. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you. But save your denials because it can give you hints on what you need to do to improve your credit so that the next time you apply to that same company or even another company, you'll be approved. So the most important thing that you can do to improve your credit is to take a look at it. See exactly what is on there. See what items it is that you would like to dispute. That credit report is a roadmap. It tells you exactly where it is that you need to go in order for you to improve your credit. Some things can be as simple as changing the allocations. If you have 5 credit cards, one with a $100 credit limit, and the balance is up to $99, all you would have to do is spread it amongst the other 4 if you're not using it to bring down your utilization. So when you take a look at your credit report, it gives you an opportunity to strategize a game plan so that you can improve your credit. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you want to know exactly when I post, which is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but the exact time so that you can be the first one to hear what was said here, please click on that notification bell. Tune in to Fit Fridays where we'll be discussing exactly what it is that you have to do to maintain a new eating habit. And remember, thoughts are actions, words have power, and actions have consequences. I'll see you in the next episode.